Everybody been here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So we're going to get into an emotion that maybe we're struggling with and looking for a way to get out of it. If it resonates, feel free to like a comment. If it doesn't, don't make it fit. Ooh, too many. All right. We have shame and sorry. So when I think of sorry, like really being sorry about something, and in a way of uh, being misunderstood came through right away. It's like you were saying something and someone took it the wrong way, and it really snowballed into something. And in my experience, it would be misunderstood, and it was not meant that way. There was not the intention at all, but someone grabbed a hold of it and turned it, and that would create a lot of something like this: shame, guilt around. Uh, wow, I shouldn't have an opinion. I shouldn't say something. I shouldn't uh, speak. And then you really start to close off, and then you carry this. But a lot of those times that was with a very manipulative person, also an unhealed person, which we're all unhealed to an extent. It's not blame on them, but it's things we need to be aware of, because we'll carry this, or we'll change ourselves to satisfy someone's wound or shadow or ego. We also it gets manipulated in a way that you were just speaking your mind, or having a discussion in general, and someone took it and twisted it a lot. So now your opinion is null and void, because you have to uh, take away your whole aspect to comfort or coax this person back to a stable environment, when in reality, uh, you did nothing wrong. Uh, Now, granted, sure, this could be maybe we really did do something and we feel really bad about it, and the sorry isn't being received well. There, it didn't start off that way, so I'm probably not going to go that way. But it's coming more of uh, coming to a place to understand that everybody has wounds. You do, I do, whoever we're interacting with does, and it all it's coming to that place of understanding that, but also understanding you and being able to stand in that. Obviously, what I was speaking of is very manipulative people. I'm sure we've all experienced that to one level or not. I'm sure we've all manipulated to one level or not, and not the way that people think. It is uh, telling a story and people aren't receiving it well, so we give more information, or make it more believable, you know, and that might be stretching the truth. That is a manipulative behavior. That's where I can say we have all done that to one extent. And if we say we haven't, well, we sure as shit did when we were a child, because you didn't want to get in trouble, you know? Or we're trying to get that cookie or something that will benefit us. I'm sure we grew out of that and learned that what is right and wrong, and yada yada. Regardless, going back to the aspect of carrying something like this, and truly deeply having that empathy and being like, wow, I really didn't mean for this to be taken this way. We have going back to we have to understand that everybody has these. Start to become very emotionally intelligent. Uh, if we already have empathic abilities, and not just like sympathizing with people, but actually feeling energy, or starting to feel ways of how they feel and their insecurities, you can start to puzzle piece things together a lot quicker. But the biggest thing is are we being manipulated or not? Because this may be used against us. As I explained earlier, that say we were having a discussion, someone took that and twisted it, had a response to it, and now you, whatever you were trying to say, or your side, or your experience is worthless. It means nothing. And now you have to push that aside and carry guilt or feel horrible for having an opinion or saying anything, and then try to rebuild this. And during that period, it's used against you. You're you don't deserve to speak. You don't deserve to have an opinion. You don't deserve to have a say. You are nothing. That's obviously quite a toxic experience. But we're carrying this. We're feeling bad, and it's being used against us. Well, that's a wound right there. And that wound reflects back on, that maybe we experienced this throughout childhood or authorial figures, and then we started to experience it in uh, romantic relationships or friends or coworkers, and that is a deep-seated wound that you don't have a say, or your opinion is not valid, or you're too harsh, when really it's your energy or it's your voice, and you're not even raising it, you're speaking, and it just triggers people. It upsets people because it hits that demon, that wound, and to be around you, they have to show up, but they don't want to. Maybe they don't know how, because they want to protect that shadow aspect, that wound, and it carries weight and it carries power, and it creates dissidence. It doesn't exist. It can't be there in that energy, because it would have to show up. It would have to come clear, and they don't want to, or they can't. They don't know how to, because that would take accountability. And who wants to take accountability for whatever we want to call it? Uh, the way this is going is clearly someone that is manipulated often, or has been in the past, and is working on building this foundation to be able to be authentic and be able to be okay in that space of you and your voice and your opinion. And it's not raising it, it's not being aggressive, it is standing true and not carrying something or feeling bad for saying something that was true, or having an opinion because someone got upset about it. It's like that instant fixer mentality, like, uh-oh, a cause and effect. Look what I did. It's going back to that movie. I think it's called Looper. And that little boy, he had a lot of power. And when he would get upset, people would get hurt. So it's like, okay, well, when I do this, this happens. So I have to keep my mouth shut, or I have to stay reserved, or I can't say anything. I'm always on eggshells. It's better to be a mute than to be anything, because if I say something, things happen. And it's not just somebody gets upset or their feelings get hurt. There's repercussions for days or something, and it's better not to say anything. It's really viewing, and I mean, that is conditioning, grooming 101. If I do this, this happens, whether from another person or through self. And we start to suppress a lot, and we are not in a place of authenticity or free to be ourselves. And whether we created that naturally and others added to it or started it, it's not really a great place to live. But a lot of us will go through it all of our life because somebody had a problem with it and they didn't show up. So what we're getting into is it's okay to be you, and people will fall out of your life in that experience. It's because they didn't belong there, and that's okay. You'll find the people that do belong there and appreciate who you are and where you're at. We got one card here, Knight of Pentacles. Commitment. Committing to yourself. Not allowing these... it is hard, because we probably do have empathy. We're probably dealing with someone that maybe doesn't, or wears a mask of it. And I'm not talking about the surface level, like, oh, that's a shame, I feel bad for them. But no, like, feeling that energy is a blessing and a curse. A Ten of Pentacles. Family abundance. Uh, when we commit to ourselves, and it's not just like when we actually look at the Ten of Pentacles, it is preceded by uh, personal development and success and all those things. But when you do the Pentacles, it gives off the ripple effect. It is rippling through every aspect of our life, financially, emotionally, relationships. Yes, we would probably maybe lose some people on the way of going there, but that ripple effect touches every aspect of our life when we are true to ourselves, when we are not suppressed. And it's not saying asshole things. It is just being you and not suppressing it in the fear of this cause and effect. And when I do this, this happens. No, you just be you. Not in a malicious way. It is just, it's okay to be free. Nine of Swords, mental strife. These two emotions here, shame and sorry, uh, grab a hold of us and uh, keep us small in these directions of what we will do. And uh, it's always your fault type of aspect, that black sheep type of deal, or it's just always your fault, which is up against people that have no accountability or choose to take it. And that's a lot to carry. You're carrying everything else of theirs because they're placing it on you, and you're taking responsibility for it when they're not. So it's not just your feelings and emotions, it's everything that they're not taking responsibility for and dumping onto you as well. And then we identify with it. And that's a shitload of stuff to carry, depending on how long we've done it. But like I said, if they're not going to take accountability or show up, and whatever we have to change to accommodate, well, they're not acknowledging their aspect. So where does that go? Well, it goes on to you. And then we have our own emotions to carry as well. Four of Swords, solitude. Uh, when I see this other card, I don't know if other people see it this way, but he has his sword next to him, and then there's like three swords above him. And I always picture that as surrender. Like, I give up. I'm putting my sword down. I'm done fighting. But I also see it sometimes as, hey, those three swords can just fall on me now. Uh, that's drastic. It's not really the way this is going. I was just sharing. But we're putting down that sword. We're done fighting to prove ourselves, to validate, to be heard, because we can't in these situations. It doesn't matter if what you did was wrong or right, which I don't think it was. The way that this sorry came through was like, I didn't mean for it to be like that at all. Like, you totally took this the wrong way. And you're constantly chasing this aspect or this experience of understanding or acceptance that, hey, that's not what I was saying at all, or trying to explain, or I'm so sorry. You're constantly chasing these people to comfort them, and it's this huge manipulation game. Fucking fruit fly is dead. Ten of Cups, family union. Going back to this Pentacles, like, it's right underneath there. There is this huge ripple effect that maybe we don't see on the surface level. This internal healing and this experience is all in here. And granted, when we're starting to present ourselves that way, there's going to be a lot of resistance because we lived our whole life like that, maybe, or through part of our life. And that cause and effect, and that fear of being misunderstood or taken the wrong way, and the cause and effect, it is like, I don't want that to happen again, or that experience, but we have to come into this truth within ourselves. And when we do, that ripple effect touches every aspect of our life. May not be right away, but it does. Get one last card here. Well, I'm glad this message came out because yesterday's was a little rough. Six of Pentacles reversed. Selfishness. Everyone that that benefited or took from you will deem you this. Will say you have no empathy. You are cold now because they were benefiting off of it before. They had the ability to take all of their shit and dump it onto you, and that meant they didn't have to deal with it. They didn't have to look at it. It was easier. So now you've pulled back. Well, you're a selfish asshole. You don't care about anybody. They'll probably call you negative names in the book. Negative personality traits. At least you'll see who they are. You'll know who they are, and it might be coming from a place that you used to. Well, we already talked about that. Run back and try to make them understand, to validate all these things, and it'll never be enough because it never was enough before. Unless you were small, you were controlled. We could dump on you, make you responsible. You carry my shit, so I don't have to. Uh, we also might feel a bit like this if we're leaving a place like this, because before we were very empathic and giving and understanding, and now this feels wrong. This goes against everything that we were trained or conditioned to be or have been, and it was misused or abused. uh, Leaving that is this push and pull. I know I already spoke about it, of it's going to be a bit uncomfortable, but going through it, number one, stay committed, and you have everything right there for you. So I will leave this here. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.